Self-reinvention. When you first hear of this, especially things like reinvent yourself for 2026, what first comes to your mind? Is that monk mode? Is that working out? Is that going on a diet? Glowing up physically? What is it that helps us reinvent ourselves for 2026? When I was younger, I used to think that self-reinvention is all about external alterations, meaning that as long as I go to the gym and get shredded, as long as I worked on my character and my personality when I'm socializing, then I'm good. As long as I glow up, I take care of what I wear, I do my hair properly, I learn how to master my makeup skills, then I'm good. But I'll tell you what, external alterations is only one part of reinventing yourself, but what about your core self underneath all that alterations? What about mastering your frequency? Because as long as your frequency is still weak and you are easily reactive of anything that you see outside of you, no amount of gym sessions or hair keratins or beautiful dresses will really sustain you in that dream life. Because even when you attain it, you will eventually make incongruent decisions that self-sabotage. And this cycle was something that happens to me every year for 8 years when I try to reinvent myself for next year. So while I completely agree that goal setting doesn't work because goal setting is the external, and what truly works is the fundamental internal shifts. But I also don't believe in just doing external alterations, such as going monk mode only without being aware of how we operate and what our weaknesses are. See, I tried going monk mode as well in 2024, and it absolutely served me. Except I was doing monk mode with no self-awareness, that I was actually feeling extremely isolated. And while I don't regret the way I went monk mode, but before you do these things, you must have an awareness of how you operate. For me, I was able to come out of that loneliness eventually by going out of the house to live my life. But sometimes when we go on extreme monk mode, we tend to really lock ourselves in to suffocation. So while monk mode is a very good way to reinvent yourself, but you have to do it in a way that nourishes your soul. And yes, while the process can be painful, but it's not the kind of pain that has zero reward. And how I was doing monk mode in 2024 was that I would punish myself constantly by working extremely hard on my YouTube channel, but I was working so hard in a way that was inefficient, where I would edit so many things that could have been done easily with AI, or if I just paid a membership to automate the way I do subtitles, but I would do everything manually on my own and use monk mode to suffocate myself into doing this and thinking that content schedules and consistency was going to blow up my channel. And that doesn't work because your frequency is out of alignment. So before you even think about reinventing yourself for 2026, what you must get right to the fundamental is your frequency. Your frequency is the ceiling to every single thing that you can materialize. And no, this is not something that I came up with myself. Again, I watch all of Nero's videos every single day, but then I also take what he teaches and apply this to every single situations and blind spots that I go through on a day-to-day basis. And I came to conclude that as long as your frequency is operating in survival mode, like my frequency was for the last 8 to 9 years, no matter how many gym sessions you have, no matter how many times you do hair keratin or you dye your hair or you perm your hair, no matter if you even get plastic surgery and go on a diet and romanticize your life, you're going to still manifest chaos. And I think that one of the most successful ways to live your life is to be peaceful every day with or without your conditions changing. And a lot of us go into 2026 or the next year hoping that the outer things will change before we do. And that was exactly what I did as well in 2024 going into 2025. I was hoping that because I was already quite disciplined with this YouTube channel, I worked really long hours tediously on this YouTube channel all on my own. And so the reward should come, right? But it didn't come. Because while I was isolating myself hardcore to do all the things that the internet tells you to do in terms of personal development, I went about it in a way where it lowered my frequency. So that's why the first thing you have to diagnose is what are the activities that predominantly raises your frequency or makes you feel loved. This is so important, guys. You can be productive, you can be disciplined, you can be smart, you can read books, you can work on yourself, but if you don't love yourself in the process, you will start manifesting situations where you still get beaten down by the outer reality. So the first key to reinventing yourself for 2026 is to be very clear with what activities make you feel loved or what actions from yourself make you feel loved. For me, although I'm an introvert and I like spending time alone, but there has to be some time where I connect with other human beings outside the house. So if I just have one day a week to connect to people in certain areas, for me, the first time I felt this connection that I really craved back in 2024, it was during November at that time, was in the sauna at this beach. So it was an outdoor sauna and I usually go there to do my swims. And I just feel like the people and the community there were in resonance with what I liked, especially if you go at a certain time where only locals go, not the tourists. So that for me indicates self-love. So while you still gym and swim hardcore like I do, swimming in winter and doing all these hardcore things, still going monk mode, still isolating myself. But between that, you have to give yourself some little doses of activities that make you feel nourished. Even if that means going to that outdoor sauna where you get to connect to different people, not even direct communication, just being in the vicinity of people that you feel in resonance with. And then your soul feels nourished, even just once a week. Because when you do that consistently, the pain that you go through from monk mode and working really hard on yourself, it feels like there's a payoff. So give yourself that payoff. The more your spirit feels loved, the more you have energy to fuel yourself to do painful things. Now, when you feel loved and supported and seen by yourself, your frequency will be in this place where you just don't give a fuck who doesn't see you anymore because you see yourself. So even if you go to the gym and you start to lose weight like I didn't go to the gym, I went to swim a lot. And because these past 2 to 3 years, I was very dedicated to always being fit without a gym membership. So I would always find a way to work out somehow, whether that is by doing beach clips, because beach clips, it would force me to really push beyond my limits to get that beautiful footage. And even after I do beach clips, I would try to go for swims. And when I can't be swimming, I would do long walks or I would jog a little as well in the evenings. So I never let myself down in terms of fitness. When I have energy, I will do my best to work out because working out for me is enjoyable. I really like working out. And if I can be at the gym, which I cannot be for the last few years, where I didn't have stable income, I would find a way to work out without gym equipment or gym environments. And when I do that for myself, I feel very loved. I feel like, oh, Patty sees me. She's not neglecting my health. Now for you, you may hate the gym. You may not like these things. So you've got to find little things that you really, really enjoy doing, whether it's painting, wearing makeup, playing soccer, gaming, but in the right amount though. Not all day long to the point where you brain rot, but you really have to nourish your soul with these little things. The other thing that really helped me feel motivated doing painful things was wearing makeup. Wearing makeup for me as a lady makes me feel so empowered. And not just regular makeup. I like K-pop makeup. I like brush makeup. I like creative makeup. I like rhinestones, glitters, and glam. So if that's what I enjoy, I'm not going to deprive myself from feeling beautiful. So while yes, I still film these videos, I still do edits, I still work in monk mode. I still don't text around, I still isolate myself from the crowd, and I really strengthen my frequency. But in between those painful things that I do, I wear makeup for myself. And I think I even got to a point in March of 2025 where I realized that I was self-sabotaging all along by abandoning myself through this self-reinvention process. So abandoning myself looks like I would only wear makeup when I'm asked out or I have to work. But the kind of makeup that I wear is kind of like an obligation makeup. So at that time, I was not filming YouTube videos in advance. So therefore, I was always reacting to comments and lack of growth. And because I was always feeling stressed that I wasn't growing, I would then try my very best to show up to film and wear the bare minimum makeup, which is just bare minimum brows, bare minimum eyeshadows and lips. But I didn't wear the exact kind of makeup that my inner child really likes, like glamming up, taking me more time to just line my lips a bit more and just make it more plumped and wearing some rhinestones. And I even felt like if I went too heavy with makeup at one point, then I would look inorganic on YouTube. So you must strip away all this social conditioning that who you inherently are is not enough. Because as much as you can drink celery juice going into 2026, which I am, drinking celery and lemon together, even though you can eat salad for breakfast, which I do too, but it's the kind of salad that tastes really, really good, where you have some honey and lemon and mayonnaise. You can do superfood bowls, veggie bowls, all these nourishing things on the outside, but you have to do it from self-love. For me, I enjoy these things. I enjoy decorating my plates. I make salad in a way that tastes good for me. So I do all these things to nourish my soul going into 2026. And when you do these little activities that nourishes you going into 2026, then you go into 2026 like a radiant queen or a badass king. You feel like you really got your own back, which means that your frequency is now lifted. And when your frequency is lifted, you're more unfuckwittable. No matter what challenges you face in 2026, you are able to deal with it from a calm manner. And I think that's the most important thing, even beyond generating 7 figures a year or 7 figures a month. If you are generating so much money, but you are so reactive and everything's leaking everywhere and everything is messy and you're hiring and firing, that's a shitty year. That's a shitty year because you're always operating from survival state anyway. And I think that a real successful life is a life where you feel peaceful internally, no matter what the conditions outside of you say. But on the internet, people will give you surface advices about reinventing yourself, like journaling in the morning. But journaling doesn't work for everyone and it doesn't work for me. I tried journaling back in April 2025 and I found it tedious. So therefore, it's not about journaling, vision boards, affirmations, or anything like that. That is a one size fits all to everyone. You must customize your own plan by getting to know yourself. What do you like? Again, for me, I found that personalized plan by trialing and error. Makeup, working out, swimming, hot men, going to environments where there are hot men nourishes my soul. And I know that this sounds very superficial, that yes, when I see hot men, hot shirtless men with abs and they're fit, beautiful blue eyes, tall, and they're motivated by life, it nourishes me. I'm not even gonna lie, that's the truth. And that thing motivates me. So I take myself in environments where these people are. And not just hot men, even sexy chicks in bikinis. And they're beautiful. They're nice to me too. They're hot. They look mean, but they're nice to me. I feel motivated even more to work out, to keep doing what I do. So it's not just about vision boards strictly, or vision statements strictly, or affirmations or scripting strictly. It's about creating a personalized rhythm that works for you in a way where you feel loved and supported by you. Now, once you are able to find that rhythm, you must compound this consistently. That is where consistency comes in. Now, I used to think that consistency was about being consistent with YouTube, like posting schedules. And I mean, yes, you need to be consistent on YouTube, but you must approach it in a way where your frequency is raised and stable. Last year, I tried to be consistent from survival state. And when you're doing everything from survival, you're chasing. So you need to stop being consistent in living in survival, but you have to be consistent in nourishing yourself, is what I'm trying to say. So if you nourishing yourself means that you work out for you go for walks during the sunset, you go to the beach where there's lots of men of your type, hot, shirtless, good bodies, fit like yourself. Or if that nourishing thing for you is also journaling, yes, but then watching anime series or Korean series in the right portion, then you consistently do that in the right doses. So you want to combine these pleasurable activities with some painful things that you obviously need to do to get more resilient. So these painful things may be waking up at a certain time that communicates to yourself that you got shit going on in your life. And again, it's not about waking up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. or 10 a.m., but you want to have this routine that is so structured and so anchored that you do these same things every day that reinforces to your self-concept that you are high value. So for me, waking up at 4 a.m. every week, just once a week, to go and do my swims and coastal walks, makes me feel very high value. But for the rest of that week, I wake up not too early, to be honest. But then when I wake up, I do everything that I'm supposed to do. And I work on the things I need to work on until I go to bed. and that raises my self-esteem. So therefore, these routines sound like very chronological, common sense advice, but the bottom line of reinventing yourself in 2026 is to raise your frequency and stabilize it. And by doing this, your thoughts, your emotions, your certainty, your beliefs, your self-concept, all those things have to be congruent to the best version of you. And I think that the easiest way to make this congruent is to take action, but the action has to also be aligned action. So for me, I cannot affirm and not take action and then believe that it's true. I have to take some form of action, like taking myself to swim, to believe that I'm a swimmer. So I cannot believe that I'm a swimmer without ever swimming. And I can't believe that I'm a fit chick without working out. So therefore, you unify the spiritual, mental, and physical activities all together to make it work. That is how you truly reinvent yourself. And no, you don't give a fuck about who you're doing this for and who you're trying to flex to. While you're doing all of this, whether it's monk mode, ghosting everybody, isolating yourself, strengthening your frequency, you do all these things just for you and for your own inner peace. Because once you have inner peace, going into 2026, you are indestructible. Nothing can shake you anymore. You will always remain calm, solid, and stable like a tree. And no matter what weather hits you, the storm, the rain, the sun, you are unfuckwithable. That's the attitude that will help you shift all the way in 2026 and beyond. So I'm looking forward to your reinvention and good luck with it.